Good afternoon, my friends. If you find yourself asking yourself on a regular basis in your neuroplastic approach, am I doing enough? Am I doing enough practice? Am I doing enough to recover? It's a really common question I hear in coaching, and it's understandable because this is a very personal process, and what is enough is different from person to person. So I have a two-step process for this question. And the first step, when you notice yourself asking yourself this question, am I doing enough, is to pause and take note of everything that you've done that you can think of. You don't need to be obsessive about it. That day already, and maybe that week or that month or that year. Every choice you've made that's life affirming. You chose to get out of bed this morning. Even if you didn't, you chose to open your phone and find this video. You're trying. You are actively seeking resources to help you move into a better state. Maybe you drink some water. You got dressed. You ate something. Maybe you did a practice. Maybe you did a few. Maybe you reached out for support from a buddy. Maybe you did a task, answered an email, cleaned something. You've been already making life-affirming choices for yourself throughout the day. So think back on anything that morning, that day, recent past, and thank yourself. Take a moment to say, I'm so proud of you. For every effort you're making, every thought you redirect, look at what we're already doing. And take a moment to really sit and try to connect with that around all the noise that, wow, look how well I'm already doing. Let me commend myself for that effort. That wasn't easy, and I did that. And the reason for this is partly to shift from the negativity bias of focus on what we haven't done, focus on what we could be doing, to focus on what we're actually genuinely doing already. Let's focus on what is instead of what could be. Because our limbic systems, when they're in that really activated state, are always going to be looking for the negative. They're always going to be looking at all the things you didn't do that you could be doing, and then find a way to make you feel bad about it, or that maybe you should be doing it. So focus on what you have done. And part of it too is it is essential in this process to wire our practices with a feeling of reward instead of a feeling of stress or pressure or punishment, which is often what happens when we're coming from this place of limbic activation, scarcity, negativity bias. Oh my God, am I doing it right? Did I do enough? Look at all the things I could have done that I didn't do. Come out of that into a place of, when I do my practices, I feel good, and I feel good about myself for doing so. And that increases your intrinsic motivation. When you celebrate what you have done, you're giving your brain a reward for it, and your brain is going to want more of that reward. So start there. The second question in this, because for some of us, we genuinely do need to shift our practice in some way in order to move forward. That's a valid thing. That's a reality that we all have to live with at some point. But the question is, am I doing enough for me to feel good about my process? Do I feel confident in my process? Do I feel confident that I can handle whatever comes up, whether it's a symptom or a thought pattern or a fear or a doubt or a situation with a person or what have you? Do I feel confident and empowered by my tools, the way I use them, the connection I have with myself? Do I feel good about my process? If the answer is yes, and it's still just a struggle because symptoms and activation and life and people and stuff that's stressful, you're doing enough. You're doing enough. If it's enough for you and you're like, this really is the best I could do, I'm doing everything I can and it's working, it's giving me traction. I wake up each day feeling like, okay, this is going to be a challenge. It's wobbly, but I trust that I can catch the wobbles. You're good. If the answer to that question is no, I feel like it's very slippery. I don't feel like I have traction. I don't feel confident in my understanding of myself or neuroplasticity or how my nervous system's responding to the tools that I'm using. I don't feel confident just on a day-to-day, and I wake up every day feeling absolutely out of control and terrified that I don't know how I'm gonna get through the day, and I don't have enough tools to do so. Then in that situation, I would encourage you to one of three things: get more information, be more consistent with your practice that you already have, just implementing what you already know more consistently. It really is magic, guys. I know consistency is like the least sexy thing in the universe when you're doing it, but it gives you the most sexy results. Like the shiniest, fanciest, most amazing dreams you have are going to come through consistency. So if you feel like what you're doing, you're being consistent and it's just not moving, try more information or maybe more support. What that could look like could be coaching, could be group coaching, could be following certain people on YouTube or Instagram who have really insightful ways of helping you understand your brain and nervous system that connect with you and help you to feel those aha moments, that inspiration, that sense of, oh, I get it now, that help make it click. Not people who have you questioning the entirety of your practice. Stay away from those. But it could be an accountability buddy. It could be a practice buddy. It could be a gratitude or celebrations buddy. It could be going on a WhatsApp group or whatever. But if you feel like your process isn't good enough, ask, do I need more information, more consistency in practice, or more support? And just take a step in that direction. Think of, okay, what's one thing I could do differently in my day-to-day practice that would move me closer to having what I need to feel more confident? And then implement that for a week and pick one more thing up. Go look for something else. So step by step, you build your process. The building your process is in itself a process. Know that. That is, if I can tell you, like, it took me about 2 years to build like a pretty good process, that I still slipped off a lot there. And then, your circumstances change, and the stage of recovery you're in changes, and your process has to change with it. So be adaptable, keep going, and focus though on what's enough for you, because what is enough for you is going to be not enough, too much, or very possibly the wrong thing for the next person. This is an individual process. Love you guys.